on. Hello,
Yeah.
and welcome to BB on Blast with me, Gaz,
And me, Lindsay.
and
Cameron.
Oh, yes, me.
Sorry.
Cole's the winner of Big Brother 2018, the last ever Big Brother winner.
Woo! Cameron, you know we've been supporting you this whole time.
Yeah, Lindsay, I know you've been my biggest fan. I've been reading the tweets. You've loved me.
You know what? On the first night when you went in, I did love you. And you can win me back over, so you just got to try.
I'll try. 1 out of 53 days, I guess, is a good rate.
She actually fancied you on the launch night, so
Oh well, I'm flattered.
Shut up, Gaz, you twat.
you know, podcast already. You don't know. Um, so Cameron,
Go
it's
on.
like, hang on, is it a week to the day? Is it since we were at the house, since you walked out of that house?
Yeah,
How's
it's
it
literally a week. It's been absolutely crazy. Total whirlwind. I mean, you honestly I can't describe how it is. You're in the house for 53 days, and all of a sudden you come out to a crowd. Obviously, they were cheering me. It was fantastic. Then you're whisked off to have an interview with Emma. Um, then obviously you're on bots. It's just you're seeing all these people, you're meeting all these people. Then obviously there's a rap party as well, and you've got people coming up to you who know who you are. I mean, I never experienced that in my life. Hundreds of people knowing my name. It was amazing, but it was very, very overwhelming.
But it must be a bit weird. So after that, like, after you've done the interview with Emma and bots and the rap party, then it's just like silence. No, you've gone back home. Isn't that kind of weird?
It is a weird feeling to go back home because everything's the same, but it's all very different at the same time. Because obviously lots happen, news has happened, football, sport, politics, everything's happened that you don't know, and you're trying to catch up. New music has come out, so it's really, really weird. And then obviously you've got all these new followers on social media and people messaging you, and you tweet and it actually gets a like. Where usually you'd have to wait like 2 days for it to like. I might like my own tweet, but now I don't have to do that. So
Because of the shit you were tweeting before, Cameron, that's why.
yeah, it probably was. It's probably the rubbish I was tweeting before. No wonder it didn't get any likes.
You tweet an Ariana Grande lyric and people go ape shit about it.
Exactly. That's all you've got to do now. I don't have to. I can tweet fruit and I get a few hundred likes. So it's a fun time at the moment.
So why aren't you out spending your 100 grand on, I don't know what I was going to say there. Why are you talking? Why are you talking to us?
Well, because I'm a massive fan of the podcast, obviously, and I watched it before I came in. Obviously, before I went in the house for celebrities and the last the celebrity in January as well. So no, it's an honour to be on. It's an honour to be on the podcast.
Oh my God.
How did you find out about us, Cameron?
I think it must have been Twitter. It must have been Twitter. Probably about over a year ago. It was the last Civilian series, not my series, the series before that. My series. I'm claiming the whole series. I didn't mean it like that.
It is your series.
The series I was on. The one before that, I think I must have obviously been, tweeting about it and using the hashtag, and then saw you both, and then sort of gave the podcast a listen, and obviously really enjoyed it. And since then, I've been following you both on Twitter and been big fans. So.
I feel really bad. If I'd have known you were a listener, I wouldn't have been such a.
Well, hindsight's a great thing.
Well, and for you too, Cameron.
Yeah, but very true.
So should we get the shit out of the way first?
Yeah, of course we'll do. I'm happy to answer anything.
Okay. Shall I guess?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Basically, so we really liked you when you went in, and then we saw your video, and Gaz reckons it's just clickbait. I must admit, what video? It didn't even seem like you. Like your voice didn't even seem like you. It seemed like you were like almost like playing a character or something. But anyway, I was mortally offended by it, and I took against you from that moment. And I just wondered, like, I guess why you didn't take it down before you went in the house. Obviously, I don't think you still believe those things now. I'm putting words in your mouth. Did your experience in the house change your opinion on these things? What did you think those things and mean those things? I know you're younger. Over to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, age is not an excuse. So I'm not going to say that, but obviously, it was 2.5 years ago. Age is irrelevant, but it was 2.5 years ago, and obviously, people's views and stuff can change. Obviously, when I did that, obviously, it was called "If You're Easily Offended, Then fuck off.
Of
Sorry for
course.
swearing. I hope can I swear on the podcast? I can.
Of course you fucking can.
So yeah, that's what it was called, and it was basically a series to just wind a few people up at school, be a bit, be overconfident, a bit of a personality, like I don't know what's called, like an online persona type thing of just ranting, but just saying stuff to try and get a reaction from school. And people from school. I think a lot of what was said in there was taken out of context. I mean, I don't stand by 100% what I said in there at all. And I was more referring to radical feminists, which I didn't obviously allude to in the video. I do obviously, in hindsight, I wish I'd have taken the video down. I don't hold the same views as I did when it was there. I mean, that goes without saying. The house didn't change my opinions massively because my opinions had already changed. So it wasn't that. It was just one of the videos, because I've got thousands of videos on there. And obviously I tried to vet everything before I went in. It was just one that, it sounds ridiculous, but it just slipped through the thing. Obviously the title is clickbait. That is to get people talking. And obviously some people saying on there that I said women should be beaten and stuff like that. It's just absolutely not true. That's not what I said. Never ever would I say that. I'm the least violent person in the world. I mean, I get scared of butterflies, So I mean, I totally and utterly hate violence, no matter who it's against. And never ever would I say that it's okay for violence. I'm totally against it. So it was a little bit of a shame, obviously, that video was taken out of context. But I understand, obviously, it did offend people, and obviously it was there to offend people at the time. But it was stupid. It was a video that obviously I regret now, and I regretted before doing. And I obviously apologise to you and anyone who it did offend. I didn't mean it to offend people and hurt people in that way. So I am disappointed. All I will say on the feminist thing, because my opinion has changed. What I want equality and equal opportunity. That's what I believe in, and that's what most people believe in. And obviously there are issues on both sides still. We're not 100% equal. There are issues on for women that still aren't equal with different things, and there's still issues as well on the men's. So rather than this whole so it can only be women's issues, it can only be men's issues, why can't we all just try and help that? Yeah, more men commit suicide than women, so let's sort that issue out. And also there's issues with body image issues with women and the way that they've got to be seen and objectified and stuff like this. So let's work on them all together. Let's not go, we can only be this, because it turns into this whole superiority thing, and that's what I don't like. It's like both extremes are bad. We all, most of us normal sane people want the same thing, and that's equal opportunity, equal rights for everybody, equality of opportunity. And it's just the extremes on both sides want superiority, and that's not what I want. And that's what I honestly view is that there's issues still on both sides, and we can all can we not all come together and try and work on those issues together, rather than it being this versus this person versus this person. You know what I mean? It's not just with gender issues at all. It's the same with sexuality. There's whole straights versus homosexuals. It's the same thing in many other things as well. So it's not just the thing. But I don't understand. It's the same with politics. Everything's so divisive. That's what I'm so upset about, because yes, there might be somebody who has a complete different political opinion to you, but ultimately we all want the same thing. We all want good education, a good future for our kids, good jobs, prosperous country, safe from crime. So, we can go out in the evening. We don't feel like we're going to get, stabbed or anything. Do you know what I mean? That's what we all want, a good health system. We all want the same thing. We just have different ways of getting there, if you see what I'm saying. And that's what I just feel like in politics and with other things at the moment, there's just no debate. It's just, well, you're this, you're that. And it's just this, it's childlike, it's playground kind of talk. And I just wish we would be able to debate. You can then strengthen your own point. You can develop your own point, and we can get to the same conclusion. We all want the same thing. We all want the same things. It's just we've got different ways of getting there, if that makes sense. Sorry, I rambled on there.
No,
Typical
that's good. But do we all want the same thing, though? I don't know if we do.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's always going to be the people that don't want equality and equal opportunities, and they don't want, they do want, nationalism and communism and stuff like this. If we're going to talk about politics, there's always going to be those extremes. But the majority of people want the same thing. They just have different ways of getting there, if you see what I'm saying. And I feel a lot of people are so ideologically driven by, I'm a socialist, or I'm a conservative, and they can't take the best parts from different ideologies and bring them together into it, because I'm so ideological. And it just frustrates me a little bit. Again, that is not beside the point, but that's just my opinions on things, if that makes sense.
It's kind of tied into it, isn't it? Do you still consider yourself to be a Tory?
Well, that's a funny story, actually, because I'm really annoyed with the producers regarding that. I haven't really spoken to them about it. But basically what happened is I really was into politics in like 2016, 2017. I've always been interested in politics because there was the US election, there was Brexit. I was doing politics at sixth form for about 8 weeks. I only stayed there for 8 weeks. But anyway, so basically that was going on, and I was just looking at different parties to join, and basically the Conservatives at the time were the cheapest party to join. So I just wanted to join them because what I wanted to do, it sounds ridiculous, but what I wanted to do is go to one of the events because I just wanted to see what it's all about. It wasn't that I agreed with the Conservative. The Tories at the moment are Theresa May's a complete. Well, she's not doing the greatest job. Let's be honest. You know, there's no need to get into politics here. But I don't trust any political party in this country. That's the God's honest truth. So anyway, what I'm trying to say here, I'm rambling on again. So I'll be back in the diary.
That's okay. You can ramble on.
Basically, what happened was I said to them. They said, "Are you a member of any political party?" And I said, "Well, I am a member of the Conservative Party because I was a member of them the previous year, and they automatically renewed the membership, took the money out of my account. It didn't even have enough money in my PayPal. It went into the minuses."
Robin.
And then so then I was still in theory I was still a Tory for another year. But so then when I came out, because I hadn't heard about the whole Tory thing, I came out, watched the my obviously launch night in the hotel, and it goes, "Cameron's a Tory," and I was totally, and then I saw people absolutely going mad on Twitter about it, and I thought it really frustrated me really, because I just don't like the fact that they've not taken what I've said, and they've obviously tried to put it as a thing, and I'm sure they didn't mean to do it that way, but it does annoy me because that's just not the full truth. That's not how they painted it at all.
Well,
you do know in the application process they're looking for those things to label you as.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That label helped you get into the house, no doubt. They probably loved it.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point, to be fair. But like I say, the story, I always told them the story as that, and that's the genuine story. It sounds ridiculous, but it's honestly the truth. So I am, by default, at the moment, still a member of the Conservative Party, but I have cancelled the subscription. I have cancelled the subscription. So
pay for that privilege, Cameron? How much was it?
It was from memory, it was like £5, and then it automatically renewed for £25. So it was
Jesus.
It was a heartbreaking time when I saw my PayPal and it was in the minuses, and I was like, what on earth is that? And then I obviously realised. So yeah, the letters then started coming through again. But no, that's the funny story on the whole Tory thing. So no, believe it or not, I'm not actually a Tory.
Well, what about this profile of you that's like Tory, that you support Trump, that you're Brexit?
No, I mean, this is ridiculous. I followed the US election back in 2016.
Hang on, didn't that say hashtag MAGA on the description?
On the what? On what are we talking about?
Twitter. On one of your old Twitter accounts.
Oh, what, the politics? I don't know what that's all about. But at the end of the day,
so you're saying you don't like Trump anymore?
But no, Trump's lost the plot. No, Trump's totally lost the plot. Some of his policies during the election made some sense, especially economically. I saw where he was coming from, but it's even obviously coming out and seeing what he's done since then. He's totally and utterly lost the plot. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's talking about with the fire. He's trying to blame. He's like blaming other people for a natural disaster. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what on earth has gotten in his head regarding that. There's too many things now. The US election back in 2016 was very, very fun to watch. Really enjoyed watching it. It was like a reality television show. It really was entertaining, and I got engrossed in it, and it was very fun to watch. And it was nobody knew what was going to happen. It was great, but he's totally lost the plot. And what obviously economically, I liked a lot of what he was saying, and I thought that it could be something that could benefit people. And obviously, America wanted to change, but I think it's safe to say that the change is not necessarily going the way that they all thought it was going to go. So no, I don't know where obviously all that's come from. Brexit wise, to be honest with you, I do still believe Brexit will be a good thing for the country. But again, it's one of those things that I have no issue with somebody if they totally disagree with it. I'm not somebody who's Brexit. I'm happy to have a nice debate about it. Yeah, we may have different opinions on it, but do you know what I mean? I don't.
But you're entitled to your own views about politics.
Yeah, exactly. And I just feel like it's a shame.
Apart from being anti-feminist, because then we're gonna fall out. But
I'm only anti-radical feminist. If we mean feminist in the sense that we want equal rights for women, then of course I have no issue with that.
That's what feminism is, having equal rights.
I just feel like the radical side of it has changed the definition slightly.
There's a very radical male side of it though that is quite offensive and hardcore as well.
Oh, what, the men's rights sector? I totally agree with you. That's what I was saying earlier, that the both radical sides just aren't helping the situation. There are issues on both sides, And why can we not just come together and work on those issues together rather than this whole slanging match like we're back on the